Okay, also in this unit, or in this week's lesson, we're studying about suffixes, and we talked about what prefixes are. Prefixes is what you add at the beginning of the word to another word that's already there. Suffix is what you add to the end of a word that changes the meaning. There are 4 suffixes that we're talking about. We can add OR, which means a person who. Last week we talked about adding ER, which means a person who, but also OR can mean a person who, like inventor. An inventor is a person who invents. Okay, we're going to talk about LESS, less. If you add less to the end of a word, it means without. Hopeless, without hope. He got out in the rain and he didn't have an umbrella and he felt hopeless to get home without being soaked. He was out without hope of getting home without being soaked. Colorless means without color. You do a picture in black and white. Colorless is without color. Sometimes when you get really sick and you're not feeling well, you turn all pale and someone will say, you're colorless, you're without color. You're just looking white. Another ending that we add, ly, and we talked about that a couple of times already in our lessons. Ly means in a way that is. So if I add ly to the word kind, it means in a kind way. He helped her kindly. How did he help her? In a kind way. And we talked about suddenly. Suddenly means in a sudden way. How did she get the news? She got it suddenly, without any notice, and it was in a sudden way. Also, another ending would be full. You add full to the end of a word, and it means full of. Helpful, full of help. Hopeful, full of hope. Okay, so you can add one of these 4 endings: OR, LESS, LY, or FULL. But when you add full, did you notice down here, you don't put FULL. In fact, I should have not put 2 L's here. I should have put 1. Because when you add it to the end of the word, you just put 1 L. And you add it to a word that already exists. Invent is already a word. You add the suffix and it changes it to a person who invents. Hope, you add less to hope. Hope is already a word. It becomes hopeless. You add less to color. Color is already a word. It becomes colorless. So you have to add it to a word that's already there. So let's look at your workbook on page 254. And again, it tells us the same thing. A suffix is a word part added to the end of a word to make a new word. The suffix OR means a person who. The suffix FUL means full of. Suffix LESS, less, means without. And LY means in a way that is. Okay, so we're going to read each sentence. Use the meaning of or, full, less, or ly as a clue to the meaning of the bold. Then match the sentence with the word's meaning. Now over here we have in a way that's bold, a person who visits, full of play, a person who sells, without color, and full of care. Well, let's look at these clues. Full, we know that was part of a clue. Without is part of the clue. A person who is part of the clue. Full is part of the clue. A person who is part of the clue. And in a way, that's bold. Okay? So let's look at this one. The new puppy is playful. So our word is playful. What is the suffix we add? Well, the root word is play. So what did we add to it? We added full. So full means full of. So full of play. Now where does it talk about full of play? Right there. So we draw, well, there's no period here, so we just draw it to the first letter. Okay, the next one. Dad is a good sailor. Okay, what was the root word? The root word was sail. What did we add to it? OR. And what does OR mean? A person who. So we're looking for a person who does what? Sails. So a person who visits, a person who sails. So we're drawing from the period over to the first word. Okay, the glass of water is colorless. We're looking at the word colorless. What is the root word? Color. What is the suffix? Less. So we look up here. Less means without. So without color. So where do we have without? Without color. So from the period down to here. Okay, please be careful on the slide. The word we're looking at is careful. What is the root word? The root word is care. And what is the suffix? Full. So full again meant full of. So full of care. So we're looking for full of. There it is, full of care. The hero sang boldly. Okay, what's the root word? Bold. What's the suffix? Ly. So what does ly mean? Ly means in a way that is. So in a way that is bold. And where did we have that? Right up there at the first. In a way that is bold. What does bold mean? If you do it in a bold way, you don't do it in a shy way or talking softly. You do it in a bold way, courageous. Okay, number 6, there is a visitor at the door. Okay, so the word is visitor. The root word is visit. The suffix is or, and or means a person who. So we're looking for a person who visits. So a person who visits. So we go from the period up to the first word. Okay, and we've finished with that page.